So now we are up in the attic of a house that's probably 100 years old or more. It was moved in 1929. So I was asked to determine if it would be better to tear this down affordably, or would it be still feasible for less than building new and tearing this down to remodel what we have. So just the idea of tearing it down makes me sad. That should not influence what these people are asking me to do. These are wonderful people. Should not influence. What they asked me was to determine whether or not this is worthwhile. So it kind of gets to the theme of whether or not there's value to this log cabin frame. And I think there is. I think that in it itself causes issue. You have to work at it, and it's unfamiliar, so therefore you're going to reject the responsibility of making something better because it's unknown and you don't know what you're up against. But anyway, this is a neat place. It was built with hard work and done with axes. That the log cabin part was. So this new phone tends to, wherever I look, it goes with, is what I've been told. So you'll have to bear with that. In order to have a vaulted ceiling, we'd have to straighten out the roof on top, because I don't think it would be feasible to straighten out the roof wood at this point. I think it would be probably be bowed permanently. You know, you'd have to. I'm not saying nothing's impossible, but it's probably not feasible, cost effectively to. What is the word? Straighten out each one of these rafters. So what I suggested before was that we would put wood along the side of it and then string line straight across it. And then straighten it out that way. Remains to be seen whether or not they want to preserve this old house. I personally, if it was me, I would like the bragging rights of having a house that was over 100 years old, that was a log cabin, and have video proof, maybe even a section of the wall exposed to show it. Personally, that's my viewpoint. But that doesn't mean that I'm right. It just means that I have a tendency to want to preserve the efforts of other people. Doesn't mean it's cost effective. So throwing all this away, in my viewpoint, would cost $10,000. Put in a dumpster, haul it off, whatever. Preserving it might take a little bit more labor and less dumpsters, about the same cost. You know, taking the nails out and such, same cost. Perhaps somebody would not want to rebuild a Nash Rambler. They would want to rebuild a Camaro. So this is not a plantation home. It looks, at one time, looked fantastic. This was a carve it out of the wilderness home. And what I understand is they got flooded out and they decided to get off of the river valley and move up here on top of the hill just a little ways and stop being flooded. Which, by the way, the town got hit by a tornado twice. in a short period of time, twice. I don't think anybody was talking about climate change then. So it was flooded several times and hit by a tornado twice. Uh, but they decided to move this house up here, which had to be either take it all apart in pieces and put it back together, which would seem massive undertaking. But maybe it's like Tinker Toys. Uh, or they put it on a wagon and either drug it here or carried it here. Or a team of mules and drug it up here. Put a couple of beams, logs underneath it and slid it up here. Or I would be interested to know. But I'm taking you guys along because it's not every day that a repairman's going to take you up into an attic of a home that's made out of logs. And if you look over there where the light area is, that's where we added on to this house. And it's already looking neat as all get out. So I think that we can make this thing into something really special. But it's up to them to decide if they have the confidence that it can be done in me. And they don't know me well enough. We haven't been through all the journeys that it takes, going through war, whatever, war buddies. We're not war buddies. They just have to see if they feel comfortable with me. So they have put the responsibility on me so that if it goes over cost, I share the responsibility with them having to pay for it. And they can have the right to get angry at me or just don't want to be around me no more because I cost them too much money. So yeah, it's a little on the stressful side. If I was somebody who always built new, I would we'd tear everything down and build new because I know I'm very familiar with that. That's not respecting what people want. It's more respecting about what you're comfortable with. Shouldn't have to deal with all this as a repairman / contractor of sorts. But you know what? You should also. Life is not simple. There's nothing in repairs that is simple. Everything is complex. And the choices that we all make are complex. We have to decide that the time and the money that we spend is proper. And if I work for somebody, they have to decide if I am charging a fair price and what I'm doing is proper. When I first started, I didn't have nowhere near the skills that I have now. Still, people trusted me to work on their home. It becomes, for me, maybe not for other people, it becomes for me even more daunting because I know the level of quality that I can do, and I have to balance that between what that person can afford. There's a lot of responsibility there because I work on mobile homes and campers, restaurants, and houses of all kinds. I generally want to stay with the theme or the budget that those people want me to. So today is me up here trying to get a familiarity with what it will be budget-wise to put this home together and keep what is existing as opposed to tearing it all down and building new. That's the journey. And thank you for hanging out with me. See you later.